and welcome to the Engerati studio live at the European Utility Week. My name is Sophia and today I'm joined by Els Verbrugge, Innovation Manager at Innogy Essent. How are you, Els?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
I'm really good, thanks. So can you please tell us a little bit more about Energie Koplopers?
Absolutely. So Energie Koplopers, it's a smart grid trial based on the USEF market model.
Okay.
USEF stands for Universal Smart Energy Framework. So what we're doing as Essent, together with our partners, we're investigating the technical and financial feasibility of unlocking flexibility with prosumers. So that's households and small and medium enterprises.
Okay.
We do this together with some partners of a consortium. One of them is Alliander, which is a big grid operating company. Thank you. Other partners are IBM, for example, and ICT Automatisering. And what we do is basically based on a smart energy system. We balance demand and response. We do this to prevent peak load and overload of the grid. And we do this with 200 households, and all of these households have a smart appliance, one of 4, and we do this by automatic steering. So basically from a distance within the smart energy system, we switch devices on and off. Basically my specialty, thank you, is focusing on the prosumers, so the households. Because actually households, they don't really have a problem and there's not really a sense of urgency. So why on earth would you have a smart device in your home? So basically we're looking at the preconditions that are needed for prosumers to unlock their flexibility.
And so what did your pilot tell you about these conditions that are needed to accept? Like what did you discover with this?
So the pilot actually, like the research for prosumers within the pilot, we had a mix of quantitative and qualitative research within and outside of the trial, basically to get the insights into to really basically get fact-based recognition for these insights. And what we found out is that basically there's 4 preconditions for consumers to accept a smart household appliance. So first of all is the company needs to have a very compelling story, basically based on sustainability. So the idea for people and the knowledge of people that they can do something good for the energy system. And the proposition, it needs to be super simple, so it's easy for them to understand. Yeah, absolutely. The second of all is the ease of implementation. So a proposition needs to be super easy to implement, because you know what, people don't really want to invest any time or effort, so you have to make it as easy as possible. And then automatic steering is actually a really good part of the proposition because people find that it's very convenient.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Third one is there has to be no financial cost. So no financial cost, or financial risk. And that means you have to really make this proposition free and think about earning models in a different way. Because if people have to make a purchasing decision, it means they'll have to think about something, and then it's people won't really do it. And fourth one is the organization offering it has to be super reliable. That means transparent billing, but it also means information. So people need to get the right information and have to have access on in-depth information at the moments they really need it. And also they need to have a sense of control over the device. So prosumers want to always be able to overrule the device if it's in their house.
Course.
Yeah. But also privacy and data security are really important topics here as well. Yeah.
So do you think that this, because you were speaking before about this dynamic partnership, do you think that so these dynamic partnerships are supported by an automated platform of trust? Will have to become the norm for distributed energy market underpinned by renewables.
Yeah, absolutely. I think especially so the automated platform, like the automatic steering, that's a key component. But also transparency is really important here, because if you want consumers to hop on this train, you'll have to make it very transparent for them in order to gain their trust. And once you have their trust, you know, it gets much easier.
Exactly.
But especially the first bit of like building up the trust is really important.
It's difficult as well, I guess, to building this trust.
Yes and no, because it's very important for people. But then, like, if you've met certain preconditions, like the ones I mentioned before,
exactly.
Then, and if you're a trustworthy company, then it's quite easy for people to.
Okay,
to
so
hop on board.
Before offline, you were telling me that you've been sending through Silicon Valley to find for startups and everything. So can you give us some of the more, let's say, out there innovation ideas that are in the world all over?
Well, yeah. Well, what we're doing with Energie Koplopers, it's already pretty much out there. It's smart grids, it's Internet of Things. But in the future, like the devices we're steering right now, they're like heat pumps, electric boilers, PV switches. But in the future, there will be this market will open up for a lot of different devices. So it will be washing machines, it will be toasters.
Yeah. Toasters.
Yeah, but also electric cars will play a big role here. And I think in the future, like if you look at what the value of like the value of energy will go down, but the value of flexibility because of the new renewables will only increase. So it will bring exciting times.
Exactly. Okay. So then I have a question about the Dutch regulation. So how easy it is to innovate within the Dutch regulation?
It's a good question, actually. There's of course different sides to this story. So in the Netherlands, it's actually really encouraged to innovate.
Okay.
So especially in pilot settings, it's quite easy to set up new market models and to pilot it and to see the feasibility. The big challenge here is basically the valley of death, which is from pilots to actually rolling out in the market. And there you see that regulation is running behind a little bit, which is basically inherent
exactly.
to regulation. But there's a lot of political interest as well in what we're doing. So we've had working visits from different political parties, and especially like if you're in dialogue, and dialogue is really the key here, then you're able to also shape regulation in the future. So although it's a slow process, you know, I think we're on the right way to actually making regulation work for us.
Okay, brilliant. So I have a last question for you. It's about the conference. So we're at European Utility Week. Why are you here? Like, who are you trying to meet? Who are you trying to see at the Initiate program?
Nice. Well, for me personally, I'm one of the speakers. I'm actually going to present the results of Energie Koplopers tomorrow. And apart from that, I'm also here to meet new startups, because actually as a company, we cannot do all our innovation by ourselves. So it's really to see what's out there and to see if there's any possibilities in working together.
And I asked a question to your colleague Inken this morning. So why should a startup partner with you?
That's a good question. First of all, we have a lot of knowledge. Like we're a big company, right? And we have optimized our system, so there's a lot of knowledge about scaling up. Second of all, we have a big customer base. So if you have a solution that fits the market, then it's much easier to get a customer base. Third of all, we also do investment in startups. So if you need like investment or maybe set up a joint venture, that would be interesting. Well, then we can help you as well.
Okay, understood. So thank you very much, Els.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for tuning in. If you want to check out our Engerati YouTube channel, you're more than welcome. Bye.